Ever since the original Doom established the FPS genre and paved the way for a new era of gun-based computer violence, the gaming industry has learned to perfect the art of killing. These days, video games can offer a glimpse into hyper-violent worlds, where wanton deaths and destruction is as normal as the very air we breathe. If you're partial to indulging in some escapist bloodshed every now and then, you might want to add these titles to your library. Otherwise, you best look away. Upping the ante. The 2016 reboot of Doom isn't a complicated game. You don't need to wrestle with your decisions or put a lot of thought into how you approach any given situation. You don't really even have to care about what's going on. You've just got to kill. Doom's arsenal includes machine guns, shotguns, rocket launchers, and practically every other weapon you can think of. The game's demonic foes are plentiful enough to keep you busy that it's hard to care why you're doing what you're doing. It's a simple, bloody mess, and there's not much more to it than that. Walking the line. Military shooters are a dime a dozen, but only one of them places a weapon in your hand, makes you kill, and then actually forces you to face the consequences of your actions. That game is Spec Ops: The Line. There's plenty of shooting, of course. Headshots drop bad guys, turrets tear into hordes of swarming enemy soldiers, you know, the usual. But as the game's plot continues, you're asked to make a slew of uncomfortable decisions, which increasingly begin to feel like lose-lose situations. Each encounter with the enemy gets uglier and uglier. Your decisions begin to have a real impact on the world, and then finally, the game hits you with a devastating twist. It's nothing short of harrowing. Guns, guns, guns. Borderlands 2 has tons of guns. Guns obtained by different classes, guns you find out in the world, guns you're rewarded with through quests. There are handguns, shotguns, sniper rifles, submachine guns. The game practically insists that you collect as many as you can, and then once you have, that you put them to good use. You can probably figure out how. And take it from us, Borderlands isn't going to be throwing any Spec Ops style guilt trips into the mix anytime soon. It's a blast, literally.
I'm Torg, and I'm here to ask you one question and one question only. Explosions!
Bringing blood to the neighborhood. In Grand Theft Auto 5, violence rules the world. What else would you expect from a game in which you can shoot just about anything? Gunfire regularly erupts between warring factions. Shootouts with police are practically humdrum, and just how involved you want to get is entirely up to you. GTA 5, like its predecessors, is a game which presents you with a problem and then tells you to solve it the same way you probably created it, by shooting something. Grinding the gears of war. Thanks in part to the game's gritty sci-fi atmosphere and state-of-the-art graphics, Gears of War 4 is the most violent entry in the series to date. You can make use of a whole host of human weapons throughout the game, as well as any alien guns you take from the locust hordes you're mowing down.
Actually, technically they're not locusts, they're actually the swarm.
And then of course there's the chainsaw gun, which is pretty much what it sounds like. Your foes are torn apart in storms of gunfire, their heads explode when shot at, and yeah, the chainsaw thing too. It's all very, very graphic, and delivered in excruciating detail by the cutting-edge technology of Unreal Engine 4. Feeling the rage. Programmer John Carmack's last hurrah at id Software came in the form of 2011's Rage, a first-person shooter set on a devastated futuristic Earth. Carmack had made a name for himself decades earlier as a co-creator of the original Doom, and despite being a sandbox game with RPG elements, Rage isn't exactly birthed of the influence of his ultra-violent ancestor. The game's id Tech 5 engine meant that each individual round fired into an enemy would cause visible damage. The range of weapons available, including pistols, machine guns, shotguns, rocket launchers, turrets, and even crossbows, only serve to make things even bloodier. Rage really isn't for the feeble-hearted. Blood and adrenaline. Quake 3 Arena might seem like a little dated to anyone more used to today's shooters, but it nevertheless laid the foundations for the violence and bloodshed we often see in modern multiplayer titles. This setup will be familiar for online gaming fans. Weapons are scattered all across the map for anybody to use against their opponents, but the violence is extreme even by current standards. A well-placed rocket will send arms, legs, and torsos flying in several different directions. And the blood, well, let's just say it isn't in short supply. Arena might not be as detailed as some of the titles you'll find in stores today, but its thirst for senseless violence has rarely been matched since.